by my soul. I just wanna be with you, but I just now I'm yours.
Ready to go golfing. Mama shows her how it's done. My mom is actually pretty good.
뭐 어떻게 찍는 거야?
아니 그냥 이거 잡고 있으면 돼.
빵!
나를 엄마 찍고 있어 지금.
안에 저 깃발 보이지, 그제? 그쪽으로, 중앙으로 날려. 맞춰. 오케이. 소리 좋고.
빵!
Hello again. I seem to be loving my car vlogs these days, but I don't know, when I'm on the go, I figure, isn't that a good time to catch up? Fun fact, they say that if there's something difficult that you need to talk about, like a conversation that's kind of serious or a little awkward, they say you should have it not like so that you're sitting face to face with the other person, because that could be kind of a lot. But rather you should do it like when you're taking a walk together. So you're standing side by side and it feels close and intimate, but you're not looking at each other. The other equivalent is you could go for a drive, and when you're both looking out, apparently it promotes like openness and vulnerability, I guess, because you don't have to like worry about looking at the other person's face. So maybe it frees up more bandwidth in your head to actually be honest versus trying to perceive what the other person's reaction is. But anyway, I'm on my way right now. I'm driving into Manhattan to see a friend who I haven't seen in a long time, and we're just gonna meet up at her place. It's gonna be kind of a chill hangout. We're just gonna chat, I guess. I brought some dessert for her because being Korean, you don't go empty-handed anywhere. Yesterday was rainy, tomorrow is gonna rain, but today is really, really nice, and this is the kind of weather that makes me want to go on vacation. I realized growing up, like, the only real family vacations we took consistently were beach trips in the summer, and I honestly, like, I was excited to go because it was something new. It was like a cool thing that my family and I were doing together, but honestly, I got bored so fast. Like, I'm the type of person where, okay, I'll sit on a beach and I'll bring like a book or whatever, and I'll play in the water, I'll play with the sand, and then maximum like 3 hours in, I'm kind of bored. Like, I'm kind of over it. And my parents were, I mean, once they had like 3 kids, they were the kinds of vacationers that just wanted to sit and relax, which I don't blame them for. It sounded like they were much more active when they just had my older sister though, 1 child, so I get that. Like, it's very energy and time consuming to have to do an activity with 3 kids, but it sounded like they went on ski trips, they did all sorts of like things, like activities, versus when we were a little bit older, like, I guess they were just burnt out and pooped by that point, so they were more partial to like sit on the beach and like relax and do nothing, take naps type of vacation. But the thing that I realized about myself is I really can't have that. So my ideal vacation is not necessarily where I'm like lounging around doing nothing. Of course you need like a day or 2 of that mixed in, but I really like having like one big main event a day. Like, I need to do an activity. I love this area. I'm driving through Central Park right now, and it feels so cool. It kind of feels like I'm on a roller coaster, just like through Jurassic Park or something. Wow, it's so dark you can't even see me really, but I had a great nice catch up with my friend. I was there for like 6 hours. So we talked, we got dinner, we had the dessert I brought. I'm glad I caught up with her. Now I'm gonna head back home. It's already past 9 p.m. So I'm hoping that that means there's not a lot of traffic going back, and it also means we get to see some night cityscapes. So it's a plus there. And the rain stopped as well, so that's also a good thing. Anyway, I'm gonna be driving back, so enjoy the views, and I will see you in a little bit. So I just finished my date and it went pretty well. This is the second date I've had this weekend, and yeah, I mean, I guess it's happening for me these days. The dates are coming. Of course, when you initially meet that person, like, are you attracted? Like, do you like to look at their face? Like, that does matter, you know? Besides the initial, like, the exterior part of it, which actually goes away pretty fast, it's really about who this person is. So I definitely feel like I'm a lot more interested in asking about certain opinions. Like, I'm more like an investigator of like how this person ticks versus like checking off a bunch of boxes like, okay, do we have this in common, this in common, this in common. It's more it's not as much like procedural almost, it's more like an exploration. So I definitely think that it's only when you get to know yourself a fair amount and know what's important to you that you are able to do that, versus like looking for things that people say are important and you should look for. Obviously you want to look for like, is this guy going to be able to commit? Is this guy looking for the same thing as me? You know, these things do matter. Okay, where am I going? Okay. This is really not a good area. Okay, am I going the right way? No, maybe. No, I'm not going the right way. Okay, that's not good. But anyway, one thing I don't love is how much more invested and how much more expectation everyone has of a date just because I am the age I am. And like, I'm 27. Like, I don't consider myself old, but at the same time I'm not like young. Like, I'm young enough, but I'm at the age where like I feel like I should be getting serious about like everything I do. So everything has to start like fitting into a bigger plan and a bigger picture, and like there's just all this added pressure that I feel like came out almost overnight, because I definitely didn't sense it up until like a few months ago. But the more I talk to my parents, the more I talk to other people, they're like, well, you know, you should be starting to get serious now. And not that I was never not serious. I was always a pretty serious dater. I was always pretty discerning, and like picky. I mean, that all being said, I feel like the dating game is a constant reminder that no one is perfect and there's no one out there who is completely perfect. There is something called perfect for you, and I believe that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to meet and surpass all of your expectations. My only piece of advice to everyone, as I myself also try to navigate this whole dating situation, is listen to yourself, learn to trust yourself, and before you date, but with everything else as well, I think the part of growing up that matters the most is learning to trust your own judgment and to understand what voice you have to listen to inside yourself, because there is the ego voice, there is the overly logical mental voice, and then there's your intuitive voice. And it's okay not to know the answer sometimes, but know like just what direction you want to go in. And honestly, I think it's about trusting that you are making the right decision for yourself. I definitely think the most important thing about dating is to know yourself. And everyone says that, I know, but it really is about trusting yourself in every department of your life, including romance, including that whole realm where you have to understand what you need, what are your needs, what are wants. My therapist and I actually talked about that. She had me make a list of my needs, my emotional needs, in a relationship, and we went through it in the next therapy session, and I was surprised at some of the things she said, that's a want, not a need. So we're all constantly learning about ourselves, but I think the more we know about ourselves, the better equipped we are to realize who can meet our needs. And a relationship isn't anything crazy. It's about two people who can meet each other's needs, who can have a harmonious life together, who have the same outlook and vision. Not outlook, the same vision. The outlook thing apparently is a want, not a need. It's really just about compatible lives. You know, you're trying to build a life with someone, and that's really what a marriage is, what a relationship is. When two people don't know what the hell a relationship is, it's really hard to have a successful one, because I feel like intentionality and purpose and vision, these things really do matter. You have to be with someone who has a direction, and you yourself need to be someone who has a direction, who knows what they're looking for. Otherwise, you never know if you found the right one. Like when you're shooting an arrow, you have to know what the target is, where it is, how far away it is, in order to figure out how to shoot it and meet the target. And yet with dating, I feel like so many times we go in with the most ambiguous idea of a partner that might be good for us, and we don't really explore it as much. We're surprised when people fall short, and yet, you know, we have to realize that maybe we have to clarify the target. We have to understand that part more than the pursuit and the dating itself. So, as with anything, I have managed to make dating a very abstract and philosophical thing, but that is my forte, I guess.
때때로 멈추다 핀 그 잔들이 시간을 멈춰 떠났지만 여전히 머물러 날 잡아주는 너 다가가도 멀게만 느껴져